In the previous episode of the Kaiserslautern Career Mode, we set our sights on the Schweizer Bundesliga. At the start of the season, we acquired Julian Green for 2.7 million from relegated side Greuther Fürth. Some shaky form in the league carried over to the Pokal as we lost to Mönchengladbach on penalties. Our form began to improve though as we picked up a win against Erzgebirge, Mijosevic's former side. Hey, what's going on everyone? Flick here. Welcome to episode 4 of our FIFA 20 Road to Glory Career Mode series with FC Kaiserslautern. We're looking to finish up the second half of Season 2 today, and while our form from the previous episode wasn't the best, we're currently sitting in 4th place, which is not bad, considering that we can still secure that crucial 3rd place spot, which would give us the possibility of being promoted to the Bundesliga next season, courtesy of the playoffs. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed. We still have matches to play, but if you look at the overall ratings in our squad, I think we are well on our way to being ready for the Bundesliga. Once most of our player ratings are mid-70s, I think we would be fully capable of surviving the Bundesliga and not getting relegated right away. We will be looking to strengthen our squad even more in the January transfer window, but first I have a few press conference questions to answer. Let's get into it. Our first question today comes from Baller CM, who is sort of alluding to Kaiserslautern's history of selling young, talented players, especially goalkeepers, and it is something I have in the back of my mind. I guess we'll have to see how the season goes. I think Grill is fully ready to fit into a Bundesliga side somewhere, whether that be as a starter or as a future starter, because he is only 21 years old, still fairly young, especially for a goalkeeper who can play into their mid-30s. But it's something I'm going to look at more in Season 3 once we have a better idea of where we stand in the league. Hunter Stewart has our next question, and I completely agree with them in saying that the defense is the weakest area of our squad. We did add Mijosevic at the start of the season via a pre-contract, but it's actually the area that I'm looking to improve in the January transfer window. I would love to add some youth academy center backs to the team eventually, but that will take time, and unfortunately we just haven't had any good results come up from our scouting. I'm going to keep trying though, sending our scout out every month looking for a physically strong player, and hopefully I'll be able to update you guys once we do find one. That's going to be all the questions for today. If you want to get involved in next episode's press conference, make sure you leave a question in the comments section below, and while you're at it, if you do go on to enjoy today's episode, make sure you leave a like on the video and help support the channel. I read through the comments of every single video, and whenever I see a transfer suggestion, I do my due diligence and research that player to see if they're in line with what I'm looking to achieve in this career mode series. This suggestion from Sir CMX for Bela Kochup is a great one, and he's the player we're looking to sign in the January transfer window to improve our defense. Just walking you through some of his statistics, has 2-star skill moves and a 5-star weak foot. That is going to be crucial for a center back, especially in this 3 at the back formation. We can play him on the left or his preferred right center back. Also has the right sort of build that I'm looking for. 6'3", 191 pounds, and he is also quite pacey, which again is good for a 3 at the back formation. Another thing worth noting is his overall rating isn't too high yet at 65, so we won't be fitting him into the starting 11 right away, but because he has 85 potential, I see him being one of our future first team players. This transfer deal was pretty good in terms of the financials. We picked him up for 1 million from Bochum as a rotational player, 5-year deal worth 3 grand a week. And in order to make sure our net transfer balance was in the positive, I did part ways with a number of players. Mind you, we had the Green transfer at the start of the season as well as the Bela Kochup deal now, so a lot of players will be leaving the club either this season or next season. Most of these players were rotational though. Schad is the only player from our starting 11 that will be leaving next season. I also asked for recommendations where we should send our 3-star scout. We took this comment from Brandon Blanco, looking for a winger from the United States. Maybe we can find the next Christian Pulisic. We will be keeping our 4-star scout in Germany, continuing to look for a physically strong player. While we're on the topic of our youth academy, I do want to mention our player training for the remainder of the season because we have a lot of youth academy prospects in here. Groff is still not eligible for promotion because he is 15, but we are still working on his goalkeeper drills so that by the time he is eligible for promotion, he can be at a good overall status. Also, we don't know the future of Grill next season. We're also working on Mijosevic, Bela Kochup, and Sickinger's defending stats. We're doubling up on Groff's training in this second set, while we also work on Smith's passing as well as Bohm and Oak's attacking. Moving on to our icon updates, we don't have quite as many transfers as the last episode, but some big players making moves here, as Henry made the transfer from Monaco to Juventus for 13.75 million. Gattuso transferred from Rangers to Salernitana for roughly 5 million. Lehmann had a short spell at Milan as he only spent half a season there, transferring to Dortmund for 4.4 million. I was meant to transfer Ian Wright at the beginning of season 2, but I forgot to do so. He has made the move to West Ham. And finally, Barnes has made the move from Newcastle to Charlton Athletic. With those updates complete and the squad in even better standing now, let's get into our matches for the second half of season 2 and see if we can't gain promotion. Due to an injury to one of our starting center backs, Bela Kotchap will get one of his first starts as a Kaiserslautern player at the left center back position, and this will be a key fixture for us as we currently sit 7th in the league, and our next match is against 4th place Paderborn. Paderborn appear to have been busy in the transfer market as they feature another American in Bobby Wood at the left striker position. We start off our match highlights with what would have been a great early opportunity had Klose not been offside. It was just a fraction off, probably his big toe over the line there, and we continue on with a chance from Pick on the right side. He's going to play this across to Klose. Klose spots out the run from Julian Green, does a nice job to shield off the defender, and it's always going to be an easy finish from that sort of range. Good to see Julian Green contributing to the team as he nets himself an early goal. We almost get a second here as some nice build-up play in the midfield will lead to Pick once again getting a chance inside the box, squares it across the green. First time shots that one. Unfortunately, it does go wide, but here it's going to be Wood. It's a battle between the Americans as both Green and Wood are the goal scorers in this match. This is a nice finish on the near post. Not sure there's anything Grill could have done about it. We will get a free kick chance though in the 39th minute. Bergman stepping up over the ball here. And we got some practice with him in the last episode. By statistics, he is our best free kick taker. I kind of choose between him and Ballack. And this time around, he's actually going to place things and time things perfectly. We get the 2 bars of power just over the crossbar, and that one will end up in the top left-hand corner. So it's always an extra bonus to score those kind of goals. I think that's our first free kick goal in this career mode series, and as an added bonus, we'll get these cool highlights here. You don't see it quite as often in FIFA 20 as we might have done in FIFA 18 and FIFA 19, but it's just an extra bonus for these free kicks. With momentum now on our side, we're pushing on to try to get a third goal. This is a poor challenge from the Paderborn player. I was very surprised to see that didn't result in at least a yellow card, as it was a goal scoring chance, and that seemed to be the turning point in this match. We couldn't get this ball cleared, and mentally we just switched off on the defensive end, and Wood nets himself a second goal. With how important 3 points in this match would have been to our league standing, I played very aggressively toward the end of this match trying to win the ball back. Unfortunately, that did result in us conceding a third goal, and that will be the final highlight of this fixture. There's really 2 ways I could have approached this. I could have played very defensively and tried to hold out for a draw, or I could have went for 3 points. With how far behind we are relative to Paderborn in the league, I felt like 3 points was worth the risk. Didn't work out for us though. Although things didn't go our way against Paderborn, we are not completely out of the promotion race. We do, however, need to pick up some big results against top teams like Dusseldorf. However, when we needed a little bit of luck to go our way, it did not seem to happen, as this deflection goes right back to a Dusseldorf player. They find the open man, and he will tuck that chance away. It seemed like last season, Grill would make a lot of those one-on-one saves, and I don't think he's the reason why we're conceding a lot of goals, but he was the reason we stopped a lot of them last year. However, I still rate Grill as a top keeper, and he is fully capable of making big saves like this one in the 28th minute to keep us in the match. This was a very defensive fixture. We didn't have a lot of opportunities or even shots on target. Big chance there for Boom, as he unfortunately hits this one wide. I decided to bring Stark in late in this match, and our top assist player from last season finds close inside the box, and we will bury that chance to make things level and walk away with a single point against top of the table Dusseldorf. And to be honest, they have not dropped a lot of points this season, so I think a draw against them is a good result, and it shows we're capable of picking up points against big teams. That's further emphasized from the statistics. We had 3 shots, only 1 of which on target. Dusseldorf, they even only achieved 5 shots, 3 on target. Darmstadt are another quality side that sit within the top 5 of the league, and anyone that's done a Road to Glory career mode will probably recognize their left midfielder, Manu. We'll get the first highlight in this one as Klose and Green showcase some nice 1-2 play. Green just played the perfect pass to Klose, and of course he will not be missing a chance from that sort of range, as showcased from our previous match against Dusseldorf and carrying over into this one against Darmstadt. A chance for our opponents though, as they're going to display some quick passing, and a shot from inside the 18 was saved well by Grill, and this was kind of his redemption match. We haven't seen a clean sheet from him in quite some time, but he was making save after save. And to be honest, Darmstadt were not the most clinical of opponents, but I'm not going to take that away from Grill. Not a whole lot of highlights in this one, but we'll walk away with a 1-0 victory. Despite a hard-fought effort, we will be finishing 6th in the Schweizer Bundesliga this season. We still have one match to play, but we won't be changing our league standing, so I figured this would be a good opportunity for us to test out some of our new Youth Academy players. Torben Graf is finally eligible for promotion, so we did promote him about halfway through the season. At the point that we promoted him, he was a 68 overall with a value of 1.7 million. And showcasing some of his individual statistics, he does have great potential and a good skill move, weak foot set. I know it's not too important for a goalkeeper, but it's nice that he has at least a 3-star weak foot. By the time it was our final match day, Graf did reach a 70 overall rating, which is good to see because the majority of our squad is now in the 70s. And I feel like Osnabrück were a good opponent for us to introduce Graf into the team. They're not too high up in the table. In fact, I think they're in the lower half. That was definitely showcased in some of these match highlights. You can see here, they do a good job to defensively intercept the ball, but a poor clearance ends up with Green getting a deflection, and Klose nearly nets us a first goal from that mistake. And then again, just look at all this space for Klose to run into. He plays the ball through to Schmitz, should have put that chance away. Again, showing he needs to work on that finishing, despite having good finishing stats. But here a chance for Pick. He's going to try to cross this one in, and defensively they are just so poor at their clearances. Ballack ends up getting an effort, and somehow he ends up with the ball here. Try to shoot it on the near post, but unfortunately it is cleared. We haven't seen a whole lot from Graf yet, but he'll finally get a chance to shine here in the 22nd minute. A shot on his near post is saved well. It's good to actually test out these goalkeepers because sometimes when they have a good overall rating, they just play poorly in game, but I don't think that's the case for Graf. Unfortunately, despite us having the majority of highlights in this first half, it will be Osnabrück to strike first. Just a poor bit of defensive clearance. It happened for both squads, to be fair, and this time there's very little Graf could have done about that. One thing I will say though is because we are using a younger goalkeeper, I tend to be more aggressive with how quickly I bring him out for these 50-50 balls. Just putting in a slide tackle, you just love to see it. He might not have the defensive awareness that some of our older goalkeepers have, but sometimes it's good to have some of the younger players do things like that in the squad. As Klose gets a chance here just before the halftime break, we'll make things level. Here in the second half, I did decide to bring Boom on, and for the most part, he has been a substitute player for us. It's going to be hard for him to replace Pick with how well and how many assists he contributes, but I'm still open to giving him more of a chance. He does have, I believe, potential to be special, so it'd be very foolish for me not to feature him in enough matches. But here, Osnabrück get a second as we couldn't clear the ball away. With 10 minutes left in our league campaign this season, I think something clicked for this squad. We just had the motivation to push forward, whereas Osnabrück seemed to completely fall apart. Green had way too much space there, and he's, of course, going to finish on his near post. But here is Boom taking the ball away, and this is going to be one of the best runs I've seen all season. Look at all the space that he has here, and he does have the 5-star skills. Pulls off that scoop turn, and he's going to finish that on the near post. A contender for goal this season, and it's nice to see him finally get his first goal for Kaiserslautern, and what a goal it was. I don't think there could have been a better highlight for us to end our commentary on, so let's go into our end of season recap and discuss everything about the squad. Unfortunately, our mixed performances in the gameplay matches this season ended up costing us, as Paderborn finished 7 points above us in that 3rd place position. Still a respectable finish from us though, as we placed 6th. A look at the bottom half of the table shows that there were a lot of mixed performances by clubs this year in the Schweizer Bundesliga. For reference, Uerdingen finished top of the league last year. However, this season in the Schweizer Bundesliga, they finished 17th, so they got relegated once again. Klose continues to show he's our reliable goal scorer, as he netted 21 goals from 39 matches. Green finished 2nd with 9 goals from 27, and Spalavis again popping up in the top 3 with 8 goals from 21. Klose also had the most assists this year with 12 from 39 matches. Pick finished 2nd with 7 from 35, and Green popping up in top 3 for assists as well with 6 assists from 27 matches. The Bundesliga continues to be our ultimate objective for this career mode save, and this year Bayern were the top team team in the Bundesliga, finishing with 93 points. Looking at the relegation zone, this is important because 17th and 18th will definitely be joining us next year, and potentially Stuttgart as well. However, it looks like Stuttgart did manage to beat Paderborn by a pretty significant margin, so they'll be staying in the Bundesliga, and we'll look to get our revenge on Paderborn next year. Taking a look at the third Bundesliga to see who will be joining us next season. It's good to see that Greuther Fürth will make their way back to the Schweizer Bundesliga, as well as Ingolstadt. And a look at the relegation zone, we'll see that our rivals SV Waldhof Mannheim actually finished 18th, and we're actually going to see some turnover in the promotion playoff final between the Schweizer Bundesliga and the third Bundesliga. Magdeburg will be joining us next season. We already know who were the top scorers and top assists for our club across all competitions, but I still want to cover the top scorers and top assists, as well as most clean sheets for the league. Unfortunately, it was just closer for us, who appeared in the top 15 with 18 goals from 34 matches. Kaunaki was the top scorer with 25 goals from 34 matches for the league winners, Düsseldorf. An impressive display from Düsseldorf, as they also had the most assist player with Derrida. He had 14 from 34 matches. Three of our players popping up in the top 15. Klose in fourth with 11 assists, and both Green and Pick netted 6 assists. Düsseldorf will complete the clean sweep, as they also had the most clean sheets this year with Arboleda, 16 clean sheets from 33 matches. A good display from Grill with 13 clean sheets from 33 matches. Here's a look at the top overall growth this year. Sem Schmitz continues to be our top youth academy prospect, both in terms of his in-game stats as well as his overall growth. Went from a 64 to a 73 this year. For reference, Bohm pretty much received the same training. However, he went from a 68 to a 73. So pretty much all of our youth academy prospects, including Graf, are at 73 overall. That's really good to see. They're progressing at roughly the same rate. Some of them start at a higher overall, but they're growing slower, and the ones that start at a lower overall, like Schmitz, is growing at a quicker rate. And here's how we currently stand with our youth academy. We have some decent prospects in here, starting with Ethan Park, a 17-year-old left winger from the United States, 54 overall, 68 to 92 potential. Josh Mathis is another player from the United States, a center mid, 56 overall with 71 to 94 potential. And finally, Jose Gauthier, maybe 18-year-old right winger from the United States, 58 overall with a 78 to 92 potential. Unfortunately, we just haven't found any good players from Germany, despite that being our better scout, and I'm hoping we can eventually find a center back. Just one icon will be retiring at the end of this season. Barnes made the transfer to Charlton Athletic halfway through season 2. However, he will also be ending his career with them at the end of season 2. Y'all already know that our board objectives are not a huge priority for me in this career mode. I'll achieve them when I can, but when they're too difficult, I'm just not going to attempt them, because even when we failed the critical ones, we're still at a decent overall manager rating of 78. Youth development, we failed both of those. Brand exposure, we didn't complete that one. Financially, we met that objective within one season, actually. Domestically, we met both of those objectives, and continentally, we don't have anything to worry about yet. Of course, the board is happy for us to stay on board for another season, so we'll be continuing with Kaiserslautern in the Schweizer Bundesliga. I wish I could have gained promotion for you guys via a playoff final, but that was not meant to be. And hopefully in season 3, we can gain promotion to the Bundesliga, and things can really get underway in this career mode. But with that said, here's how I envision the squad will look at the start of season 3, so you can put your transfer suggestions in the comment section below. We haven't really focused on signing too many strikers for this career mode, so I think that will be the area that we'll look to focus on in the summer transfer window. So if you have any strikers that would be realistic for this career mode, make sure you drop those in the comments section below. I still haven't decided what we're going to do about our goalkeeper situation, whether we'll keep Grill as our starting goalkeeper or whether we'll transfer him and give Graf a chance. I just haven't decided yet, guys. You can leave your input in the comment section below. I'll definitely factor that in, but I'm going to do some thinking this week and figure out what to do about that. But I think that will be it for this episode of the Kaiserslautern Career Mode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to y'all again soon.